Doritos, loved by many, especially gamers.
Doritos, yummy.
And Doritos love gamers. In recent times, they've done the Doritos Bowl, a 3-day Call of Duty Warzone tournament, sponsoring events like Twitch Rivals and Games Done Quick, and even Doritos Silence, which removes the crunching sound of Chris in the mic, so you no longer have to trigger that one friend on Discord who keeps turning you down. I mean, if a person hasn't been seen with Mountain Dew and a bag of Doritos, are they truly considered a gamer? But did you know before all this, the guys at Doritos cooked up a game so legendary that it completely changed the Xbox arcade. This is when the game Doritos Crash Course was born. But before we discuss it, we first have to know, how did this mythical game come to be? Well, Doritos Crash Course was an unexpected hit that emerged from an unlikely source, a marketing partnership between Doritos and Xbox. Doritos and Xbox had worked together previously on another game called Doritos Dash of Destruction, which emerged from the Unlock Xbox program, where gamers got the chance to submit ideas for Xbox games. If only Xbox did that now with the studios that they own. From there, the winning concept will be developed into a full game and released for free on the Xbox Live Arcade, with Doritos Dash of Destruction releasing 8 days before Christmas on December 17th, 2008. This game was the brainchild of Mike Borland, whose concept won out over 2,000 submissions. Borland's idea combined his passion for racing games and that one scene from Jurassic Park with the T-Rex chasing the truck.
Must go faster.
Developed by NinjaBee, the studio behind popular Xbox Live arcades like the Kefling series, Dash of Destruction was a compact game featuring 2 campaigns with 6 levels each. One playing as the Doritos delivery truck driver, collecting Dorito bags while avoiding the T-Rex, and in the other campaign, you took the role of the T-Rex, chasing down those Dorito trucks. The entire game could be completed in around 20 minutes, making it a quick and easy way for players to earn around 200 gamer score. It was a very light and fun distraction, but nothing that would blow your socks off. Then came Doritos Crash Course. The game was conceived like its predecessor as part of the Unlock Xbox competition, which was once again sponsored by Doritos in 2010. Thanks to the docu-series filmed by Doritos and re-uploaded by user Block.Games, we can actually see this apprentice wannabe inspired game show that was hosted by the gaming queen of the noughties and early 10s, Jessica Chobot. In the series, you can see the final 10 gamers presenting their ideas to a panel of experts and developers, which got whittled down to the final 3. But before we look at them, we need to look at some of the web submissions, as my god, it's pure cinema.
Hello, I'm the Scone.
And I'm Pink Girl.
And this is our official submission for the Doritos Unlock the Xbox challenge thing. Our submission is called Rival Heroes.
Rival Heroes! Ba, 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 ba.
We take you now live on location with reporter Tanisha Smith and News Chopper 12 in hopes that she can shed some light on this situation. Tanisha, can you hear us?
Yes, Greg. The scene out here is not looking good for law enforcement. The town is losing their minds since hearing.
Like I said, absolute cinema. Let's begin with my personal favorite, which is alluded to in the docu-series but never actually shows gameplay. I'm talking about the masterpiece that never got made. It is Throne. So the description for this one is pretty wild. The creator, Jason from San Diego, California, had this to say. Throne is all about the gameplay.
And what it feels like to ram into someone at 90 miles per hour. Watch their car and the player go flying through the air, then running them down.
Players earn cash
by simply doing what feels good in the game, which is running people over.
What feels good in the game? Oh dear. If anyone still knows Jason, number 1, I hope you're still alive and doing well. And number 2, if Jason has a driver's license, please someone take it off him now. Now let's discuss the final 2 who actually both ended up winning £50,000. First off was Justin from Ogden, Utah, who ended up coming up with the game Harm's Way. This game involved action-packed races where both drivers and snipers would need to team up to win the race. As a sniper, you needed to blow up the competition, and as a driver, you needed to do the classic 3 laps. This game was also received well, but in the end was second place to the majesty that was Doritos Crash Course. The idea for the game, which was originally named Avatar Crash Course, came from Jill Robertson, a gamer from Raleigh, North Carolina. Her concept was inspired by obstacle course game shows like Sasuke, better known as Ninja Warrior in the West. Game development was handled by Wanaco Games, who had worked on previous projects like 3D Ultra Mini Golf Adventures 2 and the Wipeout series of game for the Kinect, with additional help from Behavior Interactive. You know, the guys who made Dead by Daylight.
I
Hi, how are you?
The final result was a colourful, fast-paced platformer that was incredibly fun to play as you battled your way across various obstacle courses in Japan, Europe, and America, using your Xbox avatar as the main playable character. I remember buzzing about the fact I got to see my avatar fully decked out in the Emil power armor from Halo Reach, running and diving around the stage. It felt like an official collab that you'd see in games today like Fall Guys and Fortnite, and sure, now it's commonplace to see Jason Voorhees and Kendrick Lamar next to the Power Rangers, but back then it wasn't heard of, and such a treat for gamers to finally use their Xbox avatars in such a cool, fun way. As you went through the levels, you would get increasingly difficult obstacle courses filled with all manner of hazards, including rope swings, swinging hammers, and collapsing floors, with some of them even having unique death animations. This, coupled with the quick respawn times, meant the gameplay was very fast and highly replayable. The goal was simple: get your avatar through the course as quickly as possible without falling or getting knocked off. However, if the course was too hard for yourself, you could chicken out and skip to the end, which the game would royally take the piss out of you for.
Loser! You're a loser!
The game had a wacky, cartoonish, over-the-top visual style that reminded me of the fantastic show Takeshi's Castle. As seeing your customized Xbox avatar get punched by giant hammers and colourful paintballs with those added live audience sound effects sent me straight back to Saturday mornings as a kid, with Craig Charles laughing at some poor Japanese lad who's just broken several bones by choosing the wrong stone.
All right, calm down, calm down.
All this combined led to huge success for the game, and when it was released on Xbox Live Arcade, it was downloaded 1.4 million times, giving it the accolade of fastest downloaded Xbox Live title of all time in 2010. And the cherry on top of all of this is that the critics were generally positive about the game, with it receiving an aggregate score of 74 on Metacritic. Obviously, this popularity with consumers and critics alike was mostly down to the game having no barrier to entry. This led to quick word of mouth, which would snowball as your friends' times would be prioritized on the leaderboards, and it would also be shown in the top right corner, meaning you had that competitive element constantly. And for your FIFA fellas, your Halo homies, and your COD comrades, this was all the competition they needed. This, coupled with the accessible controls that even your granny could play, and finally the quintessential element of any party game, couch co-op. And not only that, online multiplayer as well, which your avatar will be represented as a cardboard cutout with a little propeller on top, again adding to that whimsical, wacky style. This obviously resulted in a huge success with Doritos and provided some incredibly impressive stats. With 66 million impressions, 1.79 million webisodes streamed and downloaded, and nearly 400,000 votes submitted, this promotional game truly showed how much Doritos were in touch with its core audience. But the docu-series proved led to more sales and more interest in the company. I mean, looking at these numbers, some of these stats are insane for now, let alone in 2010, when the internet was still in its dorky teenager years. So obviously, with this unbridled success, a sequel was announced, Doritos Crash Course 2. Again, this was developed by Behavior Interactive and was released as a free download on May 8th, 2013. The sequel expanded on the original with some new features, including 4 new theme worlds that were based on the Amazon, the Antarctic, Egypt, and even a pirate island, 5 courses in each new world for a total of 20 levels, character customization options, power-ups and special effects to modify gameplay, and a star collection system to unlock new levels. Doritos Crash Course 2 maintained the core gameplay that made the original popular, while adding more variety and replayability. The new worlds each had a distinct visual theme and obstacles fitting their settings. However, the sequel came to an abrupt end and was taken down from the Xbox Store.
Please don't tell anyone how I live.
And there is currently no legal way to play the game. A real shame for anyone wanting to try out the game now, as no reason was ever given for the game's mysterious disappearance. Obviously though, this doesn't take away from the superior game that Doritos Crash Course was. I distinctly remember coming home with friends and wasting entire evenings trying to beat each other's times because of how addictive the gameplay was. And I imagine that was the same for many Xbox 360 owners in 2010, as the game was part of that magical era of Xbox, when the Xbox Live Arcade was thriving, and every summer you'd have the Xbox Summer of Arcade with amazing titles like Limbo, Bastion, Castle Crashers, Battle Block Theater, Costume Quest, Super Meat Boy, etc, etc. And maybe even that's the reason why that so many more people play indie games today. As you can see from the open critic rating of games, how much indie games are starting to dominate the charts. So why did we never get a Doritos Crash Course free? Despite the popularity of the first 2 games, a third entry in the Doritos Crash Course series never materialize. This is most likely due to Xbox strategy of moving away from smaller indie titles and instead working on Game Pass. This, as well as the original studio Wanaco, later renamed Behavior Santiago, being shut down in 2017, and Behavior Interactive now mostly focusing on Dead by Daylight, means none of the original developers are available, and honestly, would a Doritos Crash Course game even survive in today's gaming landscape? As free-to-play is littered with a myriad of titles for a variety of people, and one that's not stopping anytime soon. However, if I have got your nostalgia tingling, you can actually still access Doritos Crash Course on the Xbox Marketplace for Xbox One and Xbox Series X/S via backwards compatibility. This ensures the game's legacy will live on for both those nostalgic fans and new players that hopefully will experience. Just check out the comments, as weird as they may be. Not only that though, Doritos teamed up with Fortnite to release the Doritos Triangle Island, which is a delicious Doritos themed Fortnite map which has a variety of various fun game modes including deathmatch, prop hunt, and whatever you call the one that is basically Kaplunk. Finishing off with a shout to the OG itself and essentially the Doritos Crash Course 3 we never got, Crash Course Death Run, which has 10 flavor-filled levels. Not a clue what that means, Doritos, but it sounds tasty. So what did we learn from this? For many Xbox 360 owners, Doritos Crash Course will now just be a fond memory of a simpler time from the 7th console generation. The idea that something as soulless as a corpo game could be this fun is a true testament to how just a little effort and give back to the customer can go a long way. Even now, there are games coming from AAA studios that are literally designed to be entertaining art products that don't even contain 1% of the soul and passion that Doritos Crash Course did. And instead, these studios treat you like a gaping wallet that should just give and give and give them your money. And then, when you complain, say you're too entitled for wanting a superior product. Yes, I'm looking at you, Ubisoft, and any other AAA entities who think they can partake in these type of practices. So in conclusion, though we may never see a fully fledged third entry in the Doritos Crash Course series, and I don't imagine the original two are high up on the list for a remake, Doritos Crash Course holds a very fond memory for me and my friends as we spent countless hours and nights in the Xbox party having the best of times. And although we may never be able to recreate those specific memories, it was amazing that we got to have them. So thank you, Doritos, for not only making some pretty great crisps, but some pretty damn fun games as well. If you played any of these games I mentioned, or you're just a big fan of Doritos, or maybe even just a fan of the Xbox Old Live Arcade, let me know in the comments down below, and make sure you subscribe and like, as it genuinely really helps me out, and also I know that I'm making good content for you guys. So thank you very much for watching another video. I've been the Ugly Bartender, and I'll see you next time.